Welcome back to the channel. It's story time. I'm in a different library today, and the lighting is not that good in here. I'm sorry about that. I've got one of these ring light things, but it is reflecting in my glasses. How do y'all stop that from happening? I don't know. Granny don't know about this stuff. Okay, but now we're in the tree signs, and we did oak last week. This week we're doing holly. Holly is, I think the lighting is really making it rough. Holly is July 8th through August the 4th. And I found some information. Going to see if I can have this up. Yeah, there we go. Okay. This is the information I found out about holly. Holly being, this is December the 11th when I'm filming this. So we're in the full swing of Hanukkah. This is Hanukkah week. And it's also, everybody's preparing for Christmas, which holly has to do, I think, decorating for Christmas. And so let's see, they might say something here. What I found out. A holly tree, apparently it can grow in Europe, Asia, North and South America. So it's like all over the place. Evergreen trees and shrubs. So it's not really, is it a tree or is it a bush? Because I've heard it called both. But they're known for glossy, leathery leaves with spiky edges and bright red berries. And that's usually what you see used as decoration. And of course, as far as the Celtic tree calendar, people born during this period are believed to possess qualities associated with strength and protection. So overall, the holly tree holds cultural and symbolic significance, and it has practical uses and mythological associations throughout history. So let's say, what about, well, first of all, like I was just talking about Christmas decorations, ornamental uses. It's used in landscaping and gardens because of its pretty berries and deep foliage. And also, one of the things that I've always heard, that if you live in a neighborhood, suburban type area, it's good to plant holly bushes under your windows because of the spiky leaves. It deters robbers or whatever from trying to get in your window because they'd have to climb through the spiky plant. So they are a hedge of protection, literally, in some cases. And holly, of course, has a strong association with Christmas and decorations. The red berries, the red and green Christmas colors, and they're used in wreaths, garlands. Let's say woodworking. Let's see about woodworking. Hollywood. Does that have anything to do with Hollywood, like the movie place? I don't know, but okay. There's some aspects of Hollywood that it's hard and fine-grained. It's suitable for woodworking. Many crafts like tool handles, inlays, decorative objects, and magic wands. So, for the Celts, the Druids, holly was a sacred plant. The Druids believed that holly had protective qualities, used it to decorate their homes during the winter solstice as a way to ward off evil spirits. And a lot of these trees and plants and uses, a lot of them had to do with the practice of protection against spiritual attack. And part of this is, you figure back then when they didn't have the medical knowledge we have now, every sickness pretty much was usually, unless it was a battle wound, if you were sick, it probably had something to do with a demonic oppression, attack, spiritual attack, things like that. They were connected. So they looked for ways to protect themselves, really from, I think more modern days we would think they were protecting themselves from illness more so than spiritual attack. But their spiritual attack is very real in my belief, very real, but it's not always connected to illness. I think sometimes it can be, but not always. Sometimes you just get sick. You wash your hands, things like that. Wash your hands a lot in the winter. People do get sick a lot in the winter because it's easy to spread illness, because everyone's staying inside, breathing the contaminated air, whatever. Get outside, bundle up, get outside, breathe fresh air, wash your hands, and just practice good healthy hygiene. All right, that's a speech for the day. Okay, so the Romans also, they associated holly with Saturn, the god of agriculture and harvest. So during the festival of Saturnalia, a festival of Saturnalia, which marked the winter solstice, holly was exchanged as gifts to bring good luck and protection. Now, in Christian symbolism, in Christian tradition, holly is associated with the crown of thorns worn by Jesus at the crucifixion. Red berries symbolize drops of his blood, and the prickly leaves represent the thorns. I think that's kind of a stretch. But, okay. So, in various cultures, holly is considered a symbol of protection and good luck. It was often planted near homes to ward off evil spirits, and bringing holly inside was thought to bring good fortune. So, interesting how there were, which plant was it they said not to bring inside? It was the one that stunk. And I can't remember which one it was. So this one, it says it's okay, bring it inside, it's good luck. Okay. So, I have found a really neat little clip from one of my favorite YouTubers, Celtic History Decoded. So I'm going to see if I can get that clip.
In the new year, ancient Celtic pagans would have massive celebrations around the winter solstice, not only to mark the dark part of the year and try and bring a little light to the dark part of the year, but also as an offering to the gods to ensure that the sun would rise again in the new year. On the solstice, Celtic priests would cut the mistletoe that grew on the oak tree and give it as a blessing. Oaks were seen as sacred, and the winter fruit of the mistletoe was a symbol of life in the dark winter months. According to an old Celtic myth, on the solstice each year, the Oak King, representing the light, and the Holy King, representing the dark, would fight, with the Oak King emerging victorious at the winter solstice, enabling the return of light.
Okay, I hope I got that worked. I hope it worked and you could hear it. If not, I'll have to cut it in some other way. But I thought it was interesting, the myth of the last week we did the sign of the oak, and this week we're doing the sign of the holly. And that myth has the Oak King and the Holly King doing battle at the winter solstice. So I thought that was really interesting that I get, we're getting to that time of the darkest day. So I think it's the 22nd of December this year. So yeah, I liked that. I thought it was pretty interesting. So that is our information on the holly bush tree. What do you call it? Do you call it a bush or do you call it a tree? I don't think it's safe for the berries to be around dogs in case they chew on them. I don't think that's safe to have it around dogs. I know poinsettias are dangerous around dogs. So if when you're doing your decorations this year for whatever holiday you're celebrating, be careful and mindful of your pets, not to have anything that could cause them harm, or at least where they can get to, including like turkey bones and things like that if you have a big feast. So Okay, thank you guys for hanging out with me because it's been kind of a rough time. This being the darkest time of the year, I have I suffer some from seasonal depression. So this and being that this is the third year after losing my mom, and the and my husband having lost his mom, trying to holidays are different now, very different. And I think as you age and all of a sudden you're the older generation, these the traditions we had before are so different. It's really hard. And some people, I applaud you if you're able to carry those on. But with people living in different locations and just everything is different now, to where the old times, what I remember being young, of everybody getting together at grandma's house, and it's things like that don't happen much anymore. If you still do that, I applaud you. That's great. But nowadays, it seems really difficult because people are living so far apart, and a lot of times families aren't as big. And like in our situation, we always used to get together at my mom's. It was, at least one time a year, when everyone would make an effort to make the trip. But when she passed, no one has picked up the torch to continue that kind of. I think my brother tried the first year, but it's not the same. So it's hard, and because I think the younger generation doesn't have that um, tie to family like some of us had, but you know, but it probably depends on the family. I mean, I grew up um, without strong ties to grandparents. We didn't live close to very many grandparents, and they all passed before while I was still young. So we didn't have big get-togethers and things like that. So it's not something I grew up with. So it would be hard for me to try to recreate it and continue something like that. But yeah, this time of year is hard for a lot of people. So ask everybody to just be aware of the people around you, that it's not the happiest time of year for everyone, because it brings, I think, to the forefront all the people you may have lost, and and a lot of people dealing with seasonal depression. The It's just so many things. You don't know what's going on with somebody, so please be kind, and just think about what the season means as far as showing kindness to other people. So yeah, and thanks again for hanging out with me, because it helps, you know, to have some friends around. All right, thanks you guys, and I will see you at book club. Bye.